Okay, so I've already finished stitching the other side of the elastic onto the fabric, and this process was a little difficult to do because of how really thin the elastic was that I was sewing this sample carefully and avoid to not have any damages or any errors. And I think for future presents I'm gonna have to get a thicker fabric. A thicker elastic so it can be able to fold in on both sides of the fabric, and of course being able to stretch it a little bit to give the elastic more of a stretch. So for the third sample I'm going to do is that for the neckline I am going to do a fold over elastic. So I am going to use a zigzag stitch to stitch the elastic. I did stretch it a little bit to help me be able to sew along the elastic while it is stretching, and then afterwards I am going to cut a little bit of any leftover fabric that's going to be onto the wrong side, and then afterwards I am going to stitch on this side again to be able to cover most of the edge parts of the elastic. Okay, so I've already used a zigzag stitch to stitch the elastic band onto the fabric, and then next I am going to fold this part of the elastic onto the right side and do the same thing like I did onto the wrong side. Use a zigzag stitch to stitch onto the elastic and onto the fabric, because if I stitch it with a normal straight stitch, then it's going to break off the threads when I try to pull it.